Hi, this is Phyllis Tarbox with Above and Beyond Christian Counseling, and today I'd like to talk to you about demonic attacks that begin at birth. What was going on in your mother's life while she was pregnant with you? Was there trauma or chaos in the delivery room on the day of your birth? Or were you a surprise baby? These questions expose the root of a demonic assignment from birth to kill, steal, and destroy your destiny. And we know that from John 10:10. We also see in Revelation 12:4 that the dragon, Satan, stood before the woman who was in labor so he could devour her child the minute it was born. Identifying open doors for demonic torment is important. Some are created through no fault of the individual, and others remain hidden unless they're revealed. We see this all the time in the office. People battle with unseen forces that set up a legal right from birth. I want to share with you 3 stories about demonic birth assignments. And the first one is about Susie. She cried every birthday for no reason. She had received deliverance ministry, but no one had considered the start of her life. Her birth mother had placed her up for adoption, but her adoption was delayed, and the hospital staff called her the poor little baby that no one wanted. Well-meaning people spoke words over her that established a demonic birth assignment over Susie's life. She was unwanted, rejected, and abandoned, and the assignment began. She grew up with sorrow. It followed her everywhere. When she came in for deliverance, we could actually hear a small child weeping. God's plan for Susie was to bring joy to many. The demonic kingdom's tactics twisted that joy to bring in sorrow. But I'm happy to report that they lost that legal right on the day of her deliverance. The second story is a little more personal. I had a sister whose history was very different. My parents had planned for my sister, and they loved her very dearly. On the day of Wendy's birth, the umbilical cord wrapped around her neck, and the doctors spoke their greatest fear. They said, "This child will die of strangulation." Despite the trauma and the chaos, she survived. But 1 year later, on her very first birthday, Wendy died of strangulation. The word curses spoken over her had never been canceled, and the enemy used them to snatch her life. My third story can be seen on a show we filmed on YouTube called God's View Today. My client Michelle tells the story about how her mother conceived her and spent her entire pregnancy in misery. She called Michelle a miserable child. And as she matured, she ended up agreeing with her mother's assessment until one day she finally spoke out, "I am miserable." At the onset of the deliverance session with her, we canceled the word curses that were spoken over her, including those released while she was in her mother's womb. During the taping of that show, Michelle's real birth assignment came forth, and today she is discovering joy. These real-life encounters mirror what many experience. So let me ask you, are you waging war against an unseen enemy from your past? Is abandonment, rejection, isolation, or distrust a repeating pattern in your life? Do you know your purpose? Deliverance unlocks doors and sets the captives free. God's word is true. You are his workmanship, created in Jesus Christ for good works. He prepared them for you in advance, and you are to walk in them. And the Bible tells us that in Ephesians 2:10. Don't let that birth assignment stand in your way one more day. Start this year off right, and let's get down to the root. I hope this blessed you today, and have a great week.